Hello, I'm Gemma and this is Non-Fic Books, and today I have my first video for the Non-Fic History Book Club. And January's book was Georgian London Into the Streets by Lucy Inglis, and this was first published in 2013 by Viking, but this particular edition was published in 2014 by Penguin and is 325 pages long. This started off as a blog. Lucy Inglis wrote the blog Georgian London, and where she discussed all sorts of interesting historical facts, and this then became this book. It is broken down into an introduction and then 12 different chapters focusing on different areas of London, from the city, the margins, Westminster, all the way to Islington, Hampstead and Highgate. So it's broken up geographically, and I must say I think that is my main problem with this book. I think if this had been written thematically, I think I would have really enjoyed it. But I felt that this book didn't really know what it was, sadly. And I have full disclaimer here, I didn't finish this book this month, and I don't think I'm going to. I will, however, hold on to it, and I think I will read relevant chapters before I go to London, relevant to the areas that I am going to, because I think that would be particularly interesting. But I just felt this book was full of fascinating information. She has done a lot of research. It contains a lot of really interesting things that most of us probably do not know about Georgian London. So I think it would make a great book if you are considering writing anything set in Georgian London. I think this gives you a lot of sort of accurate information to which to sort of check your work, because nobody likes inaccurate historical fiction. But as a general reader, I just found I didn't like the book format. I'm sure the blog was absolutely fascinating, but it just seemed like this was too close to the blog. Each chapter is sort of broken down into different areas of that area of London, and it looks at interesting facts about it. But because of that, it is just sort of list of trivia, list of trivia, list of trivia, and it is very interesting. But I just personally do not find that sort of book very interesting to read. I find it more something I want to dip in and out of, rather than something I want to read from cover to cover. So I think my problem with this is I don't really know who would really get the most out of this, because there's the books I Didn't Know That About London, and they now have them for all over the country, and that is much more sort of easy to dip in and out of, whereas this has the same sort of information in it, but it isn't very easy to dip in and out of. Obviously that's sort of a wider scope historically, and this is very jam-packed full of information about Georgian London, but it's not a book you can dip in and out of. I personally don't find I can read it cover to cover, because it's just too much like lists of interesting facts, and I think if there had been more work to change it away from a blog style and maybe write a thematic book that covers all sorts of different areas of London, I would have enjoyed this a lot more. Because obviously there is so much information crammed, 325 pages, and it is like fact, as I said, fact after fact after fact. So there is a lot of information in here, and I found that I just it doesn't stick in my head because it's sort of quite disconnected, some of the facts in places, and she's very enthusiastic and her writing style is very enjoyable, but the overall structure didn't work for me at all. I'd be really interested, I know, having had a bit of a chat to people on Instagram and on Twitter, that other people have found this quite disjointed. If you have read this from cover to cover and really enjoyed it, what did you really like the geographical sort of split of it, or would you have preferred a more thematic book? Because I think that's what let this down for me. I still think it's a nice book to have. I will definitely dip into it and read, as I said, the relevant area to a trip to London, because I think that would be absolutely fascinating. But I wouldn't really recommend this unless you are researching or, as I said, writing a historical novel, because really interesting. She's obviously done so much research, but I just don't think it's a very enjoyable or accessible book, which I think is such a shame because the information is so interesting. Please let me know what you think down below or over on the related blog to the Non-Fic History Book Club. I will leave all the relevant links down below, and please, please, please do have a good old chat with me about this book. The next book, I will do a quick little video after this just announcing the next book. You already know if you've kept up to date, but if this is new to you and you haven't come across me doing this history book club, please do join me. I'm not looking for any sort of commitment here. If you want to dip in and out, that's absolutely fine, but hopefully I will see you in a video soon. Bye!